Greetings and salutations.
Here. And still taking it all in, still taking it all in stride, still trying to make the best of it, and still, putting my best foot forward. A lot of times, myself personally, I get in these moments where I am just sort of, I want something right now. I want success right now. I want dollars and money right now. I want to have things be different right now. And sometimes in those moments, I catch myself, I have to remind myself, like, what are you doing here, Lamar? What's happening? This is what's happening right now is the best, and it's the best option. That's the best that we can do. I think a lot of times we want something and we're so in right now. I want dollars and money right now. I want to have things be different right now. And sometimes in those moments, I catch myself, I have to remind myself, like, what are you doing here, Lamar? What's happening? This is what's happening right now is the best, and it's the best option. That's the best that we can do. I think a lot of times we want something and we're so in our heads about what could be, what will be, and as opposed to surrendering to what is right now. And it's interesting that I use the word surrender, because we kind of have this almost, or at least myself, I have this connotation towards surrendering. It sounds like, what am I surrendering to? In all actuality, you're surrendering to what is, and what is you. And to make that make more sense, like I was saying, we're in, like, for instance, being at work today, a few times I just, I found myself thinking, I want to get out of here. I'd rather be sitting at home, making YouTube videos, of course, or doing something I'm actually interested in. However, the more I'm sitting at work thinking about what I'd rather be doing, the more the universe is saying, hey, if you don't like what you're doing right now, we're going to give you more reasons. We're going to give you more of a reason not to want to be here, which is not what we want. We always want to make sure that the signals that we are sending out to the universe are the most purest. So if we're being impatient in the moment, saying that we are not okay with this moment, what are we going to get moving forward? So in an effort to surrender, we just have to make peace. This is okay. Try to find the good in the moment. Try to find, I'm at work. This lady or this man is getting on my nerves. However, how can I learn from this? What about this situation do I need to learn? How can I grow in this moment from what I'm experiencing now? And it may not have to do with anything from the future that could be bothering you. It could be something from the past that you want what used to be. We have all these ideas. There are voices in our head. The ego is always going wild, always looking to grab hold of something to complain about, something to take yourself out of not feeling okay. It's simple things like, when we're having a difficult interaction with a person, in our head we're saying, she's about to make me yell, she's about to get me upset. And it's just those words, particularly, like, that are making you upset, you're getting yourself worked up. And I think we overlook how powerful our brains really are. We have so much power here, so much power. And even, we all are still learning, no matter what part of life you are on, no matter how much that person may seem like they have it together, we all don't. It's always a learning lesson. You never get to a point and you plateau. You're not getting, you don't ever arrive. I like to say we're always constantly arriving. There's always going to be a new situation that are going to bring emotions from you that you may have not experienced before, but the mindset during the emotions is what is going to lift you from those situations, because you don't want to get caught into the same cycle of situations, the same emotional situations, and you don't want to keep recycling the same situation. And that happens because, as opposed to dealing with the emotion in that moment, allowing it to be, we are choosing to put our minds elsewhere. In the future, this is going to happen, so it's going to make people better, or this had happened in the past, so now I feel that this shouldn't be happening now, as opposed to fully embracing and accepting what this is now in this very moment. That's where the true liberation comes from. I hope this is making sense. I hope this is shedding light on situations. I try to insert as much of my personal lifestyle, or as much as I can into it to make it make sense. However, I'm always open to tips and suggestions and those sort of things. I'm really torn this week on what to read as far as my poetry is concerned. I have been really stumped on trying to come up with something good and something that's impactful. And that's the thing, I guess I really will never know what that truly is or what that means to be impactful until it's impacted, if that makes any sense. So to go along with what we've been talking about, or what I've been talking about, of course, I have a poem that I wrote when I was literally at work and I was just annoyed with time and having this, wanting to be somewhere else as opposed to accepting what is and making the best. And that's another thing too, like when you're so fixed on what's happening tomorrow or what happened yesterday, you're completely blindsided, completely blocking yourself from creativity, completely blocking yourself from the love that can be expressed right now in this moment because you're so disconnected. And so we always want to look for ways to connect to this moment, to figure out how we can unlock creativity and how we can unlock love and passion for ourselves and for humanity in general, because that's what this is all about. So I have a poem that I wrote about time, and this is, of course, I was at work, this is a receipt that I wrote this on, but it goes like this. Time is the most interesting concept I've come to know. Am I in such a rush mentally that it seems to be going slow? If I speeded up time, I miss a moment would I miss a moment and regret it? Or do I shift my conscience to presence and never mind? Oh my gosh, that was bad. No, I don't like that one. Disregard that. I actually can't read my writing, but I'm going to get better at that. You guys, bear with me. Stay great in the meantime. This one is about feelings and the embracing of feelings. This all goes hand in hand. Why do we have feelings? What are they for? Are they to protect you and warn you from what's happened before? Are they there to scare you or make you feel inferior? Or are they there so that for which you can, or are they there for that for which you fear you can create a barrier? Are they there to guide you into love and compassion? Or are they there to remind you that your spirit is everlasting? I asked again, why are these feelings? I want to make sure that you guys get the raw, full situation. I don't want to get into this thing where it's like robotic and super prepared and all these sorts of things. So, I'm growing and learning this with you as I'm doing it. That one didn't seem like it wanted to come out as well as I wanted it to be. So here's another one. All still go hand in hand because I wrote a few just because of this. Madness and negativity, and this is about how you feel in those moments where you are sitting and analyzing it over and over, sitting and going over the situation over and over again, and creating this whirlwind for yourself, because you have the power to do the exact opposite. It's all about the story that you tell yourself at the end of the day. So this one is called Madness and Negativity. Madness and negativity follow my spirit and sometimes suppress my well-being. I can't look left, I can't look right without scaring the joy inside me away, and my inner peace is fleeing. It hits me like a brick wall, like the Great Wall of China, and all I see is red, no one's safe, and everything inside me feels tight, like a virgin vagina. Excuse my verbiage, I'm not that kind of guy normally, but the negativity and its insane cousin madness just invited themselves in and introduced themselves informally. Look, it's a bird, no, it's a plane. Actually, it's a dark cloud raining over me and I'm left in disdain. I've picked up a bottle of pain and regret and left a can of joy and bliss collecting dust. But that's actually all in my past, and now all I hear in my head is a voice saying, focusing on now is a must. Whoa, so that one came out. That one, you guys heard that one. I hope you felt it. I hope a part of you resonated with that. And I try to be descriptive with the words to let you know how I'm feeling in those moments. But that's just it. It's all about perspective, and it's all about the right, I feel the sadness. I feel the upset. Hey, Lamar, why do I feel upset? What about me right now? What about the situation that's really bothering me? Is it this situation at hand, or is it my connection to the situation in my past? All these questions that you sort of want to ask yourself in these moments, and I know it's difficult, in a moment because, it's a moment and things happen so fast that you sort of we're a lot of the times blindsided. I actually have this other poem that I kind of want to share because it has a nice flow to it. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, so forgive me, but I kind of do, because these are good things. These are things that are gonna hopefully propel you and myself forward, because you can't see in yourself you can't see in anyone else what's not yourself. So think about that in a positive and negative light. Because what bothers you about a person is ultimately something that you feel closely connected with. It's something that you have resonated with, something that you have a connection with. So outside of that connection, it wouldn't really necessarily bother you. So this one is about living in your truth. Living in your truth and letting go of the resentment are, of course, easier said than done. Things get tough, perspective clouds your mind, and the emotional baggage, like weights, seem to add a ton. So I have to ask myself often, am I standing up to adversity when given the chance to, or am I just giving up to run? As the mucus is to the disease, embracing is to shun, I have to remind myself that surrendering to the present moment is truly my only option. But with all of the fear I've created for tomorrow and the regret that provides the mental toxins, it's silly of me in moments to be shocked when time has gone by and I've still been involved in the same behavioral patterns that affect my life in ways unimaginable and unthinkable, robbing me of my zen. So the only thing now we can do is to release and be honest, so that my heart and your hearts can truly mend. Yeah, that makes me very happy. It's still this sort of overwhelming feeling coming over me, even as I do this, as I speak to you guys. I hope that moving forward, we continue to find the space and the presence behind the emotions. Allow yourself to feel the emotions, but not let the emotions consume you. And all that, how that can be done is simply by remembering to surrender, remembering to take yourself away from the thoughts of what ifs, the thoughts of what's been, and solely focus on what is. And that's generally it. That's the best that we can do. So in the meantime, in between time, surrender. Not to the police. I mean, I guess if you have to or whatever, however, but yeah, surrendering, release, allow things to be as they are, allow things to flow into your life as they happen. And that will allow you to be closer to yourself, which ultimately will allow you to be closer to God, presence, and love. And that's all we can ever ask for. So thank you for tuning in once again. You've been live with Lamar. Peace, love, and blessings. Until next week, stay great.